Hey everybody, this is Matt and we're at Texas Toast Guitars. Thanks for watching. So today I got a very cool project that I want to get started on. But before I do, I wanted to send a big thank you to my friend Ken, and he sent me this cool shirt among other things. And he said that he made it so that the catchphrase was changed because he made it himself. Actually, no, what he said was that maybe I could change my my tagline at the end of the video. Well, that ain't happening, but still, I think this shirt is totally cool. So thanks, Ken, for sending it my way. Okay, today we are going to work on a project. Actually, we're just going to get started on a project that's probably going to take quite a few weeks to finish because I've got all kinds of other things going, and you know, anytime there's a new project that happens, well, that's when Chris goes, "Hey, goddammit, I thought we were going to work on any new projects." Okay, actually, Chris never does that, but I like to tease him about being that guy. So the project that is in question is something that is, well, let me just show you. Okay, so I am going to make a replica of this body, and this body is for Alan. He originally wanted me to do a veneer top on this, and it's in a state such that it would be easier to just make an all new body. This is a Fernandez something, like a revolver or something. The name escapes me right now, and that's really not the important part. The important part is that we are going to make a new one of these, and I'm going to try and see if I can chronicle all the steps that I'm going to, you know, use to make it, so that if you guys ever decided you wanted to build your own replica body, you could do that. So this one is going to be a little different and a little more difficult because the finish has been sort of ground away, and it just needs to, well, it just needs to be cleaned up a little bit before we can even make a template with it. So the very first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to run this through my thickness sander, and I'm going to establish a flat front and back to this body. And then we're going to get started on making a template. But like I say, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to run through the thickness sander. So let's do that now. The nice thing about our thickness sander is it's closed on both ends, which means that it's really, really easy to get something flat and nice. So we're going to run this through a couple times on each side and just kind of clean up all this, this paint mess and stuff like that. But I don't want to take off a whole lot of material. Really, all I want to do is take off the paint. So that's what we're going to do. After a few minutes on the thickness sander, we now have a body that has a nice flat patch on the back and another nice big flat patch on the front. So the reason that we needed to do that was so that we could attach our template stock directly to this body. And the reason we're going to do that is because we're actually going to use the body as we're going to make a template using the body, and we're going to actually run the pin from my beloved pin router across the actual outline of this body everywhere that we can. Now, you could do this with a regular bearing bit, but you have to be careful for stuff like the output jack hole. Plus, this edge, I'm not 100% convinced is perpendicular to the now flat top and back that we have. So, if you were to, you know, run a bearing bit, you might not get the same contour that you want. So if you run the pin around the bottom of this, it'll buzz right over all of this stuff, and everything will be cool. Now we will have to cheat a little bit, but that's okay. So looks like this body was made with alder, but there's lots of pieces of alder. The blank that we're going to make our new body from is poplar, and I think that's a good choice because poplar is a really cool wood, and generally speaking, it's hard to find alder that's dry enough initially when you buy it that won't check on the end grain here. So that's why you see a lot of guitars that are alder with sunburst finishes or all the way paint finishes, because I'd be willing to bet you there is a bunch of checking in this body, although maybe not, because it is at least 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. So maybe they started with thinner stuff, drier stuff, etc., etc. Anyway, we're going to start with poplar, and we're going to make a new body. But the thing we have to do first is we have to make a template. Now I've already rough cut out a piece of plywood before I did this. And what's going to happen is we'll actually go ahead and attach this body with maybe like double stick tape, or maybe we'll actually just screw it down. And we'll use the body to make a new template on this plywood. Okay, so I've attached our template stock, which is this piece of 3/4 plywood, to the actual body, and I use double stick tape to do that. Here is the pin for our pin router, and if you haven't watched any of the videos on how the pin router works, you should go back and watch some of those now. But what's going to happen is the body is actually going to follow the pin, and the blade is going to cut out the shape on this piece of stock. Now, you can see that it's going to be important in some areas for me to raise the pin so that I'm actually riding on the body. So like right here by the neck pocket, I need to do that. And also right here where the comfort contour is, we're going to need to kind of step the pin down in a few spots and just kind of watch that. So what we're going to do is I'm going to set the pin so that it is as high as it can go, and I'm going to leave a few marks. I'm going to put some marks actually on the body for places where I need to stop and then raise and lower the pin as needed. So I'm going to make a few marks on the template so that it reminds me that I need to stop there, and then we're going to go ahead and get started making the template. Alright, as you can see, I got most of the way down, and there's still a little bit of fuzz, and I'll just clean that up with sandpaper when I pull the template off. So, because I don't want to go in and start cutting the body inadvertently, even though I probably wouldn't. So now what I need to do is I need to finish up the neck pocket and the cutaway area, and I'm going to have to raise my pin to do that. But it won't take long, and it'll be really cool. Alright, now I have lowered the pin, and I'm going to go inside the neck pocket, which is exactly the same size as the Telecaster neck pocket. And I'm only going to go down about halfway so that I can still have the outline and the neck pocket all in one template. So now I've got the outline and I've got the neck pocket. Might as well do the pickups while I'm here. Okay guys, while I was editing this video, I noticed that I pushed stop when I should have hit play, and I hit play when I should have pushed stop. So there's like 30 minutes of me putting around doing nothing while the camera is rolling. And so I had to come up and come back out to the shop today and finish up the ending part of the video. So here we are. Anyway, this is the template that we just made, and you'll notice that it looks left-handed. And the reason it looks left-handed or backwards is because the pin router works upside down. So the pin has to come up and engage these cavities while the cutter comes out and will cut onto the right-handed side. if you didn't get that while you were watching the video, just a quick explanation. It still befuddles me as I'm doing it. Okay, you will notice that the original body and the template are essentially exactly the same piece. They're kind of at an angle, so it didn't look like they were. But yeah, so using the body as a template to build a template really worked out well. So you might be wondering, since it works so well, why not just use the body as the template to make the new body? I mean, it's 2018. How many of these things are you really going to make? The answer is that it's easier to work with a template like this, and it gives you some opportunities to, like, there's a little bump right here. We'll go ahead and sand that out. I don't know if that was an error, pilot error in the pin routing operation, or if there's a weird bump on the body, something like that. But we'll go ahead and get that sorted out. It's a lot easier to do stuff like that on a 3/4 inch piece of plywood than it is a 1 3/4 inch piece of alder. So yeah, so building a template like this, now hell, who knows, I might make 1 or 2 more of these. Somebody might go, hey, I want one of them with I don't know what they're going to say. So anyway, in the coming videos, we are going to go from just a plain, ordinary template to a body. Remember, we're going to use poplar for our body. We're going to put a quilt maple veneer on the top of that, and I'm going to show you all how to do that. And then when it's all said and done, we're going to bind it. So I'm going to show you how to do that again. So if you guys have any questions about what we did, or the tools that we used, or the processes that we used, or why we used them, go ahead and leave us some questions or comments in the comment section below. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, you might want to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you appreciate content like this, you might want to also consider going over to our Patreon page. We don't take any money from YouTube, and I kind of like it that way. So even $1 a month goes a long way on Patreon to helping us bring you cool stuff like this. Because you know what? Editing ain't free. Let's see. You know what? But if you can't do Patreon, we totally get it. What you could do for us that is ultra super helpful is share this video as many places as you can or want to. So, guys, this is Matt at Texas Toast reminding you that if you're so smart, build it yourself. That's what I do. Thanks for watching, everybody.